Hello and welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm going to be making a wonderful comfort meal called carne en su jugo. Step by step I'll explain on how to make carne en su jugo, which literally translates to meat in its juice. You can make this, it's super easy. Let's get started. So what will you need to make carne en su jugo? So I'm going to be using sirloin steak, some bacon, cilantro, some white onion, some onion which we call cambray, which is a little larger on there, and then we have tomatillo and chile serrano, and then we have lemon, which is lime here in the United States, but we call this lemon in Mexico. And so we're going to get started making our bacon. We're going to fry our bacon, and then I'll explain the next step. So the first step that we're going to do is we're going to bring our bacon over and we're going to fry our bacon until it is nice and crispy, not too crispy. You want it just a little bit before it gets crispy, and then we're going to remove this. A really important thing here is you do not want to remove the fat lard afterwards, because we're going to use that for our meat. As this is cooking, we're going to go ahead and get started, and we're going to cut our sirloin steak. Okay, our bacon has cooked now. The crispier pieces that I'm going to leave, and I'm going to show you what I do with those. So I'm going to remove it, and I'm going to leave the rendering here because I'm going to use this for the meat, in which we're going to sear the meat. And step by step, I'll show you right now on how I'm going to cut the meat and then bring it over here and begin to sear it. So we're ready now. We're going to go ahead, and I started cutting the sirloin steak just straight like this into small little pieces. And then we're going to go take it over to our rendering from our bacon, and we're going to sear this. It's really important that you don't cook it. At this point, all you're doing is just searing it, bringing all the juices out of the meat. So before I put my meat to sear, I'm going to go ahead and get my onions, and then I'm going to lightly fry these until they wilt a little bit. And I love serving these on top of the carne en su jugo. So I'm going to go ahead and do this, remove them, and then I'm going to sear the meat. At this point too, I've already made my beans, and my beans are ready. And so it's essential that you have your beans already ready. Some people use cans. I don't like canned beans. I have fresh beans already prepared. Okay, my onions are ready. I'm going to go ahead and take them out and set them aside. And this will be the last thing I serve once I serve the carne en su jugo. The next step is we're going to go ahead and sear our meat. Now we're ready to sear our meat. I'm going to bring the meat over, and we're going to sear this. We're not going to cook it completely. We're just going to sear it. We're going to add salt and pepper to taste. You can add more later if you need to. And then we're just going to sear this, and then we're going to remove this one more time. Before I do this, as I sear this, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add some garlic and some white onion. And here's our garlic and white onion. We're going to add that in, and we're going to allow this to sear. And then we're going to turn off our heat, and then now we're going to make our salsa verde with tomatillo. Okay, now we're ready to make our salsa verde with tomatillo. I washed and took the husks off my tomatillos. I'm going to place them in the water with my chile serrano, and I'm going to allow this to cook. Now, I just want it to get to a boil, and I want them to change colors until they're soft. Don't overdo it, just lightly boil them. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to go ahead and allow them to cool completely before I blend this together for my salsa. So now we're ready. Our tomatillos and chiles are ready. I'm going to bring them here into the blender and place my tomatillos into the blender. I'm going to add my chile, and then I'm going to add in some cilantro into the blender. I'm going to add in some chicken broth, and then I'm going to put in some bouillon in there just for flavor. As we blend this nice and smoothly, we're ready to take this over to our meat. I want to also add in my garlic. I'm going to go ahead and blend this together and make this nicely. Let me go ahead and grab a spoon here and add in a little bit of this bouillon. It gives it great flavor. Some people use beef broth, either one, beef broth or chicken broth. Blend it together until it's nice and smooth. So we're ready. We're going to go ahead and bring our broth over our salsa de tomatillo, and we're going to place it inside. And then as we're done with this, we're going to go ahead, and I've taken some of the bacon. I want to reserve some bacon for garnish on top, but the other I'm going to place inside here. I'm going to mix this up nicely and allow this to cook. I want to say anywhere between 30 and 40 minutes, making sure it comes to a roiling boil and the meat is super soft. Once this is done, boiling and ready, we are ready to serve. Okay, we're ready to serve. I've served it. I put some beans down first. Then I went ahead and put my carne en su jugo. Now I'm going to go ahead and begin the garnishing process. I'm going to put some white onion on top. I'm going to put a little bit of cilantro for the flavor. I've reserved some of that bacon and it's nice and crispy, and I like that. I'm going to go ahead and place that on top, and then I'm going to go ahead and get my lemon and put my lemon on top right over, and we're going to give this a taste and see what this is like. I'm going to go ahead and put my cebollita cambray right on the side here, and let's give this a try and see what this is like. I want to get a little bit of everything here. This is so delicious. You've got to try making carne en su jugo. Super easy and super delicious. We hope to see you in our next video. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Está riquísimo. Muy rico.